In 2020, Sony released two OLED TVs, the A8H and a new addition to the Master Series, the 48-inch A9S. The A9S fills a new niche in Sony's OLED lineup as it offers the exceptional picture quality of a Sony OLED, but in a smaller form factor. For those who want a great large screen monitor or an amazing TV for the bedroom, this could be your next TV. Hi, I'm Alex, a tester at Ratings.com, where we help people find the best products for their needs. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for the latest videos or check out our website for the full review. First, we'll look at the design of the TV and its inputs, then analyze its various aspects of picture quality. We'll finish up by looking at its motion handling, input lag, and sound, and then compare it to other models on the market. If you'd like to skip straight to our test results, then see the links in the description below. The A9S is only available in a 48-inch screen size, and the model number on our unit is XBR-48A9S. This TV is also available in Europe under the model number KD-48A9, and we expect the two models to perform similarly. The design of the A9S is very simple and minimalist. The first thing you'll notice about the TV is how close it sits to the ground, which we've seen before with the Sony A9G. While this looks really cool, it can be an issue if you plan on putting a soundbar in front, as it'll most likely obstruct the bottom portion of the screen. From the sides, the panel itself is quite thin, but the plastic housing that holds the electronics is somewhat bulky by comparison. The stand is fairly thin and unobtrusive, which is nice if you plan on placing this TV on a desk and using it as a monitor. If you want to wall mount it, a VESA mount can be found on the backside. Overall, the build quality is remarkable. The TV is a mixture of plastic and metal and everything feels very sturdy. There's no obvious gaps or flaws in the construction, and there's only minimal flex in the back panel. The ports can be found behind the removable panels on the back, as well as on the right side. Here you'll find 4 HDMI ports, all of which are HDMI 2.0. So this TV won't be able to take full advantage of the features found in new consoles and graphics cards, such as 4K at 120 Hz or variable refresh rate. This is quite perplexing for a high-end TV made by Sony, who also makes the HDMI 2.1 compatible PS5. The TV also supports HDR10 and Dolby Vision, but not HDR10+. The other ports include 3 USB ports, an analog and digital out, an Ethernet port, a TV tuner, an IR in, and a composite in, but no adapter is included. To manage the cables, the backside features guides and hooks that result in a very clean look once everything is put back together. To control the TV, there's only one button on the side which has very limited functionality and can be frustrating to use, so we recommend you keep the remote close by. The remote is similar to what you get with the A8H, which is to say, it's pretty solid. There are shortcut buttons to Netflix and the Google Play Store, and it also features Google Assistant to help search and navigate the UI. Now we'll move on to the picture quality. We'll be comparing to currently available TVs, but competing models may change as new TVs are released throughout the year. For an updated comparison with the new models as we buy and test them, see the review page on our website, which is linked below. First, let's start with the contrast, which is the main attraction of OLED displays, and often regarded as one of the most important aspects of picture quality. Having a high contrast will give the image a lot of depth and detail, especially in the shadows. And thanks to the self-emissive technology of OLED displays, the A9S has a near infinite contrast ratio, which produces deep, inky blacks. This makes the TV fantastic for darkroom viewing, which is what OLEDs are primarily marketed for. Because of the per-pixel lighting of OLED displays, this TV also has perfect local dimming performance, as there's no need to include a full array backlight. This means there will be no blooming or raised dark levels in darker scenes or around subtitles. Another benefit of OLED displays are the wide viewing angles, because each pixel emits light in all directions, so there will be minimal off-axis color shifting or brightness loss if viewing the TV from the sides. This makes the TV great for wide open seating, although someone looking to place this TV in a big open room may want to invest in a larger screen. The good viewing angles also help minimize color shifting at the edge of the display, if you're using it up close in person, like as a monitor. The reflection handling of the TV, which is how well it counteracts distracting glare, is also superb. It uses a glossy screen, so while the reflections will be very clear and defined, they'll also be very dim thanks to how well the anti-reflective coating absorbs light. The coating does give reflections a slight purplish tint, but this won't be distracting to most people. Because of the excellent reflection handling, you should have no issues using this TV in a brighter room. Also helpful for counteracting glare in a bright room is the peak brightness. With SDR content, the A9S has passable peak brightness, but definitely not as high as the similarly priced LCD displays. It also has a fairly aggressive auto brightness limiter, even for an OLED, so the brightness of the screen will change a lot depending on the scene and its duration. This is one of the major trade-offs of going with an OLED, but that said, thanks to the excellent reflection handling, this TV should still work for most people in a bright room. If you want an impactful HDR experience, then you want a TV that gets very bright in HDR, which helps bring out the specular highlights. The A9S has a decent HDR peak brightness, but the auto brightness limiter means it can't hold it for very long, or with large window sizes. Some HDR enthusiasts may be left wanting more. That said, thanks to the perfect contrast ratio, this TV should still deliver an impactful HDR experience in a dark room. The color accuracy out of the box is pretty solid with minimal issues with the color, gamma, and white balance. Our unit did exhibit a slightly cooler color temperature, giving everything a bluish tint. Although color accuracy varies between units, so ours may not be representative of the one you buy. After calibration, all inaccuracies are resolved, and the picture matches our target very closely. You can find our calibration settings in the full review linked below. The color gamut is the range of colors a TV can display, and having a wider color gamut means it can produce more of the rich and vibrant hues that HDR content is mastered with. The A9S has a very wide gamut, covering 98% of the P3 color space and 76% of the Rec 2020 color space. So you should have no problem enjoying the vibrant hues of HDR as the creator intended. Now, let's check out the gradient handling, which is how finely different levels of color can be displayed. Issues in gradient handling present themselves as color banding and gradients, such as the sky during a sunset. Sony is well known for their gradient handling, and the A9S is no exception. It has a remarkable gradation with only tiny amounts of banding in most colors. You can further improve color gradation by enabling the smooth gradation setting in the menus. The low setting doesn't seem to do much, but the medium and high settings work well. Just be aware this can cause a loss of fine detail in some scenes. Next, let's check out the gray uniformity. Our gray uniformity test looks at the evenness of an all-gray image. Issues with gray uniformity appear as blotchy areas around the screen, known as the dirty screen effect. This can be distracting when viewing content such as sports, where there's a lot of the same color on screen. Our unit has excellent gray uniformity, some of the best we've ever seen. There's basically no dirty screen effect, which is great for sports or video game fans. OLED displays can also have trouble with near dark performance, which presents itself as horizontal or vertical banding. In our testing, we didn't find any major issues with a 5% gray pattern, so there shouldn't be any visible distractions in darker scenes. It's important to note that gray uniformity can vary between units due to manufacturing tolerances, so the model you buy may perform differently than ours. Now, let's move on to the motion handling, starting with the response time. The response time is the time it takes for a pixel to change from one color to the next. A slow response time results in a blurry trail behind fast-moving object known as ghosting, which can be quite distracting. Another benefit of the OLEDs is their near instantaneous response times, as you can see from our results. We measured a total response time of just 2 milliseconds, so there won't be any distracting ghosting when using this TV. If you want to further improve motion blur, you can enable black frame insertion. BFI works by inserting a black screen between frames to reduce persistence blur. You can learn more about how it works right here. The A9S supports BFI for 60Hz and 120Hz content, which you can enable in the motion flow settings under clearness. Be aware that enabling BFI reduces brightness of the TV and can cause noticeable flickering, so it's not for everyone. The A9S also supports motion interpolation, if you want to improve the motion clarity of low frame rate content. It works well for the most part, although some artifacting does appear with busier scenes. This feature also isn't for everyone, as it creates the soap opera effect that some find distracting. Now, let's check out the input lag, which is how long it takes for a TV to process an image and output it to the display. Having a low input lag is important for gamers, as it makes the games feel more responsive and fluid to your inputs. The A9S has a pretty low input lag at about 18 milliseconds in game mode at 60Hz and around 10 milliseconds at 120Hz. This is a nice step up over the A9G and similar to Sony's more recent A8H. Overall, the input lag is quite low and won't be noticeable to most gamers, but it's still not as low as LG's offering, which is about 5 milliseconds faster. For those who plan to use the TV as a monitor, it does support 4K at 60Hz with 444 chroma subsampling. This is great, as there won't be any fringing around text, although you may want to use scaling, as text can be hard to read at its native resolution because of the subpixel structure of OLEDs. Also, keep in mind this is an OLED TV, so burn-in can be a factor if using this as a PC monitor, so make sure to take the proper precautions if doing so. You can learn more about our long-term investigation into OLED burn-in right here. This TV also supports 1080p at 120Hz and 1440p at 60Hz, but running 1440p at 120Hz will cause it to skip frames. Now, let's check out the smart features. Like all other Sony TVs, the A9S uses Android TV as its smart platform, and navigation and ease of use are pretty good. We didn't experience any bugs or glitches while using it, and the app selection is great thanks to having access to the Google Play Store. Unfortunately, there are some ads on the home screen and you can't opt out of them. Lastly, let's take a look at the sound quality. The A9S uses Sony's Surface Acoustic Audio, which is a fancy term for saying it vibrates the screen to produce sound. It works quite well and creates a fairly balanced frequency response. Like all other TVs, it's lacking in the low bass, so enthusiasts will want to invest in a better solution, like a soundbar or sound system. So overall, the A9S is an amazing TV that offers exceptional picture quality thanks to its OLED panel. Its smaller size puts it in a class of its own, and it will be very enticing for those who want a large screen monitor or a great TV for the bedroom. As a TV, it excels in almost all areas and is a great pick for film enthusiasts. That said, its lack of HDMI 2.1 may be a deal breaker for some gamers. Its main competition is the LG C10 48-inch, which uses the same panel. Overall, the LG will likely be a better pick for most people thanks to its HDMI 2.1 features. Although the A9S is still a great pick for film enthusiasts who appreciate the better color gradation and great uniformity. So that's it. What do you think of the Sony A9S? Will you be choosing it over the LG C10? Let us know below. As always, you can check out all of the measurements on our website. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel or become an insider on the website for access to our latest results first. Also, we're currently hiring in our offices in Montreal for various positions, so if you want to help people find the best products for their needs, have a look at our careers page. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.